Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you very much for joining me today for another card making tutorial. And we're going Christmas, and we've just had one of the hottest weeks of the year, and we've just had our mini catalogue launch from Stampin Up in the last few days. So that was on September the 6th, I believe. Let me just check that. Yeah, it is. So this is the new mini available to view online. There's links in the video description to the website and to my blog, where there's links to view a catalogue. So this is it, and you'll see that there's lots of Christmassy stuff in there, plus other things as well. So I can now show you the inside of this now that it's gone live. So you know, there's lights and there's traditional Christmas as well. Nativity kind of thing, the stars, some great sentiments, you know, sort of things that coordinate with other things in the annual catalogue as well, have similar themes. So it kind of looks nice next to the shops that are in the annual catalogue. We've got great sentiments and stuff for general winter cards as well, which is really cool. Cute polar bears, you know, so it all goes on and on and on, and you'll have seen probably other demonstrators already. This is lovely. This reminds me of a set we had a few years ago, which was very, very popular. Snowflakes, autumnal stuff. So I've got this one, so you'll be seeing something with that. So goes all the way through the winter season, bit of Halloween as well, and some of the bits in between. So and look at that, the biggest wish is more now. We've got more wishes for Christmas as well, so that's exciting. So lots and lots and lots to see. Do pop along and see that online. And today I'm going to go with Christmas classics, holly berries and pine spruce branches and things like that. Some cute sentiments. We could make some really nice tags with this as well, I think. So that's what we're using today. The coordinating dies are here, and we've got this really lovely frame which we're going to be using, and that little anything, some foliage, and this lovely big sentiment banner in the dies as well. So really, really cute. And this is what we're making. So lots of dimension on there. Just a really nice sort of simple Christmas card. This is on a crumb cake base, and I've used old olive and cherry cobbler for the add-ons, and a bit of blending on the background there, just to make it lift off the page. So right, we're going to just mix things up a little bit, use the same layout, but I'm going to use a real red card base. Okay, already done a bit of stamping and die cutting already. So these are in shaded spruce, and I've already cut some berries in the real red as well. So let's just continue with that. There's another set of berries to die cut. We'll be using this scrap of paper and the real red for the sentiment. So let's just get that stamped so that we can get as much of the die cutting done in one pass as we possibly can. So that's real red ink there that we're using. Just wiping that off. And we can, yeah, I don't think we need that again for the moment, so we'll just pop that to one side. Whew, it is just absolutely roasting here, and thinking about Christmas cards is just a bit bizarre. But I've got to start sometime. We are anticipating a whole heap of thunderstorms to break the hot weather, so you never know, you might suddenly hear some background noise of that going on in the background, so apologies if that happens, but it is proper hot. Oh my goodness. This frame we're just going to tack into place onto a scrap of card. That might need to go through separately. I've already got one set of holly berries, and I'm just going to use another scrap here and the shaded spruce, because we need another sprig, fir sprig branch thing. Sorry, just popping those into the appropriate place on my desk. And we need another set of holly leaves. And there's dies for both of those, which means we'll be able to get those die cut all together as well. But before we do, I'm just going to use the Wink of Stella to just pop a bit of colour into this. So this is a really nice open image. But I'm just going to use the Wink of Stella just to sort of move that ink around. This works really well with the darker inks, and sort of, if you do it before they've completely dried, the ink moves a little bit more. So it's really subtle, but it just gives it that little bit of colour to that image. Okay. As I say, we've got dies for all this stuff, so I'm going to need some more tape for some of this. So I'm just using some old washi tape just to put things into position. I'm just going to pop them onto the cutting plate just off to my right. So with these fit through the mini, or these little ones do. The large die wouldn't, large frame die wouldn't, but these little ones do. So we'll position that one as well, so just line it up with some reference points. Okay, so we can run all that through in one pass. And then we can just do the frame separately, just to get that done. So I always go forward and backwards, partly because that means I don't need to reach behind the machine to retrieve everything. So these little berries sort of pop out, and they come out as a pair and a single. So it cuts out all three, but you end up with that. Okay, which is cute. And you get two of those dies, and you get two of those dies. So if you're wanting to cut out lots of things, it just makes that a little bit easier. So now we've got 3 of the holly leaves, 2 of the spruce branches, so we don't need those anymore. And we've got our central feature sentiment, and we just need to cut the frame now. So I'm just going to pop that onto my really well used cutting plate. So that's started to bow a little bit, so I'm going to flip it over and bend it back a bit, and I use these until they split, basically. This one I've had for months and months and months, so, and you know I do a lot of die cutting, and I am putting that on so that it's sort of slanted, so it'll lead from the corner. It just helps everything run through a lot more easily. So we'll roll that through forwards and backwards. Okay, and then this one's got loads of little bits that fall out here and there, so you want to make sure that your plates don't have any card debris on them before you use them again, because those will mark, they'll kind of almost emboss into your card that you're cutting. So because this it's all sort of higgledy-piggledy, it can get a bit caught on the rest of the edges, so just pull it away carefully. And you've got all these lovely detailed bits and pieces, so we're just going to lift that off, which is where the tape is. There, that's it. and a lot of them have come out, but some of them haven't, so we can pop that to one side for the moment. Don't think we're die cutting anything else. Okay, and I'm just going to use a quick pokey tool just to get out those last few little pieces. So they've cut perfectly. The little paper fibres just like to hold on to things. Okay, so they're all falling out anyway. Okay. Sometimes you can kind of flick at the cardstock, but because it's so delicate around the edges, I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to use this for a minute. It doesn't take long to do. I think the result is worth it. It's a really, really pretty frame. This was one of the main reasons I got this set actually. I really liked the dies that go with it. And I like having dies and or punches to cut out some of those little details and stuff. You know, like the holly and stuff. They aren't the easiest things to cut out because they're so, you know, detailed and stuff with their little spiky leaves. So I'll just pop that into the bin. So before we construct the card, we're going to have to, well, we don't have to, you could leave it white if you like, but I think it needs the green personally. Could of course cut this in green cardstock, but I wanted a variegated look, okay, because there's a mixture of foliage. So I'm going to bring in some scrap paper that's knocking about, and I'm going to use blending brushes. So I've got my dark green and my light green here, and we've already used shaded spruce, so shaded spruce is going to come through into here, and I'm not going to be using a lot of ink. I just want to add some colour to this. And I'm not going all the way around either. So on each side I'm just going to do a little bit of it. I need a bit more than that. Okay. Not necessarily the same spot, just adding a little bit here and there. Go over it as much as you want to. Okay, but I just want something just to, like I say, bring in that green. And the complementary green we're going to use is Parakeet Party, so that's really super bright, but I think it's going to look really lovely against the real red. So again, a little bit of ink on the brush, rub it off, and then add it to the card. So you could also, just looking at the background paper here, you could use this as sort of a stencil as well. You could use almost like the negative of this to create a background, which would be really cute. So once you've gone round with your lighter colour, it's whether you decide whether you want to add any more of the dark. So I felt like we lost it a little bit on that one. I want to go a little bit careful as well, because all that detailed, all the little fronds there could bend easily if the brush catches them. So, all good. I can start putting this all together. Now this I've popped on with some dimensionals, because I want to be able to pop that other foliage, sort of tuck it underneath this panel. So this is going to be raised up to allow us to do that. And we can pop that on, so you just want to eyeball that so it's kind of in the middle. Although with all the other things going on, you may not notice too much. Okay, and then I'm going to set this onto the card, and this is going on flat with a bit of seal. You could use your wet glue if you wanted to, or whatever your preferred adhesive is. So it's just going above centre, so it's slightly higher than, and kind of looking to, hopefully that's kind of straight. So that, I think that looks really nice with the lighter green as well. Okay, so of course we're going to build this up now with all the other little bits and pieces that we've die cut. So first things first, we'll add in the spruce elements. So I'm popping one of the mini dimensionals just on the end of that leaf, and with the holly as well. Okay, and then we're going to use dabs of wet glue on the other end to secure it. The other thing I've learned this week is that the hot weather makes your liquid glue very runny, so just be careful when you're popping that out. So we're going to slot this in so that it sort of frames this up, like kind of overlap it a little bit, just to break these borders. I like to do that. Okay, so up to you how far up or down or whatever you want to do, but there we go. And then you can use something just to sort of reach underneath and just make sure that glue's been pressed into place. I'm going to do exactly the same with our holly leaves. Okay. So just a dab, so just to help secure it. And one of them's going to go in the top there to sort of balance everything out. And the other two are down here. Build up this look that we've got going on. If you don't press too firmly in the first instance, you've got a bit of time to move things around if you want to. Okay, and then once you're happy with the placement, you can press that down. Okay, and then with the berries, I found probably the best idea is to actually pop the glue on the card first, and then worry about positioning the holly. So I'm going to get the take your pick tool, and just going to pop that one into place there, and then that one there. Like so. And then the same down here, where we're going to need these. So just placing the larger one there, and then one of my single ones. That's not my single one, that is. Okay, and then once more. That one's going to tuck in a little bit, and this one on the top. So you're kind of adding a little bit of dimension as well, just by putting them on the different elements. They have little bits of height on them and everything. So that is that. So there was a little bit of Winker Stella on there to add some sparkle. I didn't add any embellies on there, but I feel like this needs embellies. Right, so I've just seen on my desk these blooming pearls. So that would suggest that they are with one of the, I don't tend to buy all the sweets and everything, and I'll mix and match. So I just realised I've adjusted the way I use my embellishment packets. I tear it up the side like that, and then I can slot it in and out without worrying about this this bit, and I can still see what they are. But this has got some gold in it, so that looks like Pretty Peacock, maybe Bubble Bath, a green, not sure which green it's supposed to be, and then some gold. So Christmas just screams for gold, doesn't it? And we've got 2 sizes of these. And my glue just came off, so that one. Again, that might be a symptom of hot weather. Let's just pick that up again with the pokey, and then that's on there like that. Another little one, just to tie it all together. There we go. So Blooming Pearls. Shall we just have a look at what that green is, if people want to know? So then you can just sort of slot those in, and then they can go back into your drawer. So Blooming Pearls. There's the summary page somewhere in the back of here of all the bits and pieces, which will tell me what page they're on. There they are. Blooming Pearls, page 53. Oh, right, so they go with this set. Okay, so I've got this punch. This punch is awesome. Got that huge, lovely oval. What do they call that again? Modern oval, I think they call it. So that's a cute punch. Got the punch. Blooming Pearls are Petal Pink, Pretty Peacock, yes, Garden Green and Gold. There we go. So those are the colours of those. Cool, 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 cool. So there we go then, guys. First Christmas card of the season. With that new mini catalogue launch. This one, Real Red, Garden Green and Parakeet Party. This one was Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler with whatever it is in the background. I just used whatever was on the brush, but there you go. Okay, hope you've enjoyed that. Hope you're staying safe, take care, and I'll see you again soon.